This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and it is Friday evening, August 15th. Welcome to my desk. The weekend is here. Let's do some art. Let's do some art. Let me put my phone up on the stand. There's Jacqueline. Hi, Jacqueline. Did you end your sale? You're going again at 2 p.m. Eastern, did I hear? 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. I caught you a little on the second one today. Okay, I have here on my desk, well, let me get over here so I can see what you're seeing. I need to go to my lives. And I got an ad. Hi, Legia. Hello. Oh, let me straighten this out a little. I have on my desk here a piece of 18 by 24, I believe. 24 by, I don't know what. 18 by 24. I think it is, paper. And I was going to make snow globes a couple years ago for postcards. And I have about 3 sheets like this that I never got done. So I'm going to do a prompt game tonight. I was thinking it would be fun to paint owls in here. And I don't know if I can still do a snow globe. Jacqueline has been selling a lot of Halloween papers and such, but that may not be what I'm going to do because I want to do it, well, I might do it. I want to do a pick 12 on the back. So I might cut these into postcards after all and do owls on one side and prompt game on the other, but then I can't really make postcards, but I can cut them to postcard size. Welcome in. There's Lizzie Jean. Hi, Lizzie Jean. I just met you in Jacqueline's sale this afternoon. Welcome in. Aw. Wouldn't that be fun to do owls on one side and the pick 10 on the other? And I might make, instead of postcards, or be postcard size, but I might make tags. And I have, because of sweet Legia, around Mother's Day, a little bit before Mother's Day, she gifted me a PayPal. And it was enough to get the Art Journaling magazine, a 1-year subscription. So I've been enjoying this one. I've been reading it pretty much straight through. I think I got to Becoming. I think I read this one. No, I don't know if I read this. Yeah, I did. I got to Treasured here, reading it straight through, reading these articles and reading the, yeah. So we'll see what I can do here tonight. Now, I think Pam is going to come on, Ginger Cat Pam. What? Did she say 6 p.m. Eastern? So, 6 p.m. Pacific. So she might be on in a couple hours. And then I think she's going to come on later tonight. And I don't know. I don't follow her late at night. So just a heads up. But once I start doing these pick 10s and pick 12s, I'm generally on until I get finished. So what I'm saying is, if I'm still fiddling around here and you want to go watch Ginger or somebody else, feel free. Feel free. That's all I can say. So I have here, let's see, let's welcome folks in. Joyce. Joyce, I saw your either message or email, and I just saw it as I was signing on. So I'm going to go back and look at that. Thank you for sending that to me. Legia's here, Lizzie Jean, Legia, Jacqueline. You have some old ones. So much fun on those magazines. Yeah. These are really inspiring. Lizzie, I like to play a pick 10 game where I ask random org to give me 12 numbers. Well, my first prompt, let's write. I got 2 new pins out. Where are they? They rolled off here already. Are these them? Oh, I think I broke out. Those aren't writing pens. Well, we're going to use it anyway. I got the marker pens. We are going to do a pick 12. And this is 8, 15, 20, 25. And what I do is I go out to random org and I ask you, these magazines have 144 pages in here. From, I think they count the start here to the back here. Let's see what they're, well, this is page 6, so that would be 5, 4. This is page 2, 3, 4. So they start with this page as page 1, and they go to this page as 144. So I ask it to give me 5 page numbers, but the first prompt is always the background color. I kind of picked that up from Becky. She always puts a background color on it. And then I go out to these page numbers. Now I played this different ways. And then 11 and 12 I make as wild cards. So let's go to random org here. Got my phone number. Can I call random org on the phone? Let's go to random org. And I just put in random sequence. Random org. Generator. I think I got my sound on there. Random, R-A-N-D-O-M, sequence. And it takes me to random org. Random sequence generator. Random org sequence generator. And then I put in the numbers between 1 and 12. 1 and 144, I'm sorry. And excuse me, I haven't done this for a while. 1 and 144. And then I take the first 12 numbers between 1 and 144. And I write, well, the first 10 numbers, because my last 2 are wild cards. And I do this different ways. When I really want to get involved in complicated, let's get the sequence. When I really want to get involved in complicated, I put out another column of numbers, and I pick the page number here, the page number, and then I'll pick a technique. But I'm not going to do that tonight because I'm just going to keep it simple. So the second one would be 135, 50, 90, 126, and these are page numbers in this magazine. 126, 98, 96, 52, 27, and 31. Then I can put my phone away. Save its juice. Save the juice. Put it in a safe spot where I won't. I looked all over for the phone that I'm streaming with, and it was here on my desk. All right, so I go to page 135 in here, and I pick a prompt. Well, this happens to be subscription cards, but I do see a magazine here, and I see 2 tall ladies. So that's going to be my prompt, 2 tall ladies. You probably can't see them very well. I'm not going to zoom in because I'm working on a large sheet of paper here, and my camera is still crooked. Let's see if I can straighten it out a little. I'm going to see my hand here a minute. Is that a little better? Or did I make it worse? There. I think it's a little better. I'll pull my, well, I can't pull my paper down anymore. We'll leave it the way it is. So 2 tall ladies. That's going to be one prompt, because that's what I see on this page. And then I go to page 50, and I'll be referring back to this as I do this prompt. Jacqueline's got me in the fall Halloween. What did I say? Page 50? That's 47, 48, 49, 50. And these are neutral colors. And I see a butterfly, and I see the word cottage. And I'm going to pick the word cottage. These will be my prompt. And as I get to working on it, I might come back in here and pull the color. I'm not sure. I may make my background color a tannish color like this. Or Jacqueline's been selling the prettiest oranges and yellows. Page 90. An orange would look really nice on this side, wouldn't it? Because if I do owls on the other side. All right, I want to go to page 90. And I want to welcome everybody in. Oh, and this is a light green and kind of a goldish orange. And it's, there's a quote that says, "There are times in a creative life when it feels as though something ancient," ooh, I like that phrase, something ancient and essential has been quietly slumbering beneath the surface, waiting, not lost, not gone. And I guess that's what these are. This kind of reminds me of a rust and patina background. And that's what I'm going to do. And it looks like they've done some stencil, like bubble wrap. But I'm going to put rust and patina. Patina meaning a greenish color mixed with, you know, aged brown and rust, kind of a patina. This says, there's a little quote here that says, "You can reverse it nevertheless." And that might go with my background color. We'll do it that way. We'll see. Page 126. My head is already going, what am I going to create? Page 126. And what I like about this magazine, what they've started doing is give a page here where they'll pull techniques from the artwork that they published, and they'll talk about that artist and what they created. And let's just read this first one. It says, "Create a tiny collage on a square of paper and use it in your art journal as a page within a page. So these are kind of art prompts in and of themselves. These would be fun to do. That's kind of what I'm doing, except for I'm going to different pages and picking out something that I see. And they've already picked out things. This is the, looks like I was playing with my name there, playing with some pins. This is the display until 975. I think this is fall. Oh, am I frozen? Am I going? I'm going. It's just my tablet that's spinning. All right, page 98. And I'll look at chat when I get these written. Page 98. Oh. That was 96, 97. Oh, you know what? 96 was over here. Let's put this as on page 90. What did I do? Page 90 is here. I missed this. Why did I get 96? Page 90, I got this. I'm going to make this 98 and this page 90. Change those two around. Because this is page 90. And oh, look at this lady has flowers in her hair. And a big alphabet. Instead of hair, I'm going to put tiny flowers in a shape. Because I don't know if I want to put a lady with hair on it. So I'm going to put tiny flowers in a shape. And I'll decide what shape I want when I use it. Now I'm going to page 96. '94, '95. This is page 96. And this looks like a stylized flower of some sort. And these are flowers, but over here, I see a quote, and then I see a bunch of stripes here with horizontal lines in there. And then I see flowers, and then I see a pattern over here. I don't care for this, for it doesn't ring a bell for me, but I like this. I'm going to put wording in strips of paper, wording in strips of paper. I'll probably handwrite it. And strips with little vertical marks. Strips with little vertical marks. I kind of like that, if you could see it close up. If you are on a phone, I don't know how it is on the laptop, but on our phones you can, when you're looking at your screen, you can expand and make it larger. So you may be able to expand this area and see that pattern in there. Number 8 is page 52. 56, 54, 52. Oh, look, more ladies. Music for life. Oh, I'm liking these. These are, I'm just going to put a group of ladies. It's kind of a torso. A group of 5 ladies. They don't, this one, these two have faces. These in the background don't have faces. I'm going to put a group of 5 ladies, and then I'll say, go look at page. So that, because I'll never remember. Group of 5 ladies. I already got ladies up here. Page 27. I really do like this, though. Who did that? This is by Soraya, S-O-R-A-Y-A, Nulliah, N-U-L-L-I-A-H. I do like that. Page 27. And this is a good way to have fun with your art magazines. I like to read them. Page 27, one more page here. Oh, look at this. This is page 26. This is page 27. I'm going to skip page 27 and work page 26 because I like this. Silhouettes. So I got a lot of people. Silhouettes of people. And this is very much autumn, fall colors in here. I'm going to put autumn colors. Autumn colors. I'm going to try to make this whole thing look like autumn. I don't know. We'll see how I get. Number 10 is page 31. That's 29, 30, 31. Oh, look. There's a doily. Is that tatted? That is a tatted doily. You mean I'll probably have to draw it because I'm going to tat that whole doily. But that's really cool. A tatted doily. We'll draw it. Tatted doily. All right. Now let me come look at chat before I get started. I'm going to try to zip through this because I'll be on for a while. All right. I'm going to set these prompts right here if you want to take a screenshot if you're at all interested. Even if you don't do it, you might keep the prompts for a game sometime. I like to collect these sheets, and I have a whole collection of prompts games that I've participated in. Hi, Belinda. Hi, Angie. One big hello back to you. Legia says, Lizzie, I didn't know. I tried to tattoo. Well, you do fine, Legia. I've seen some of your tatting. Let's see, what did Lizzie say? Roseanne, hi, Roseanne. Tatting is a birthday surprise. It is, isn't it? Thank you, Roseanne. Hi, Esther. It's good to see you. Artful Esther, welcome in. Let's see, Belinda says, hi. Was Katia in here? There's Katia. Katia teaches needle tatting. And here I said, I'm going to draw my tatting. Katia, I'm still struggling with shuttle tatting. For the last couple of weeks, my weeks have just gone by in a blur, and I haven't had time to practice. I've been taking private lessons from Tammy, and she has been having, to see her doctor and things like that, so we haven't met for a couple of weeks. But I was at the little quilt store my brother's grandson is getting married tomorrow, and he went to the barber to get a haircut. And while he was at the barber, I ran over to the little store. It's a quilt store, but it also has beading and yarn and stuff like that. And they sell the Piecework magazine. And Piecework magazine, I really like that magazine. You guys, if you go to the website, just type in Piecework, Piecework, and subscribe to their newsletter. Even if you don't buy anything, those newsletters are really fun to read because they include a lot of history, even in their needlework history, even in their newsletter. And sometimes you can get some articles that they give. You have to be a subscriber to the magazine to get into their library. And I don't subscribe to the magazine. I buy it retail because I like to support that little shop. But I just have good things to say about the Piecework magazine. It's published out of Loveland, Colorado. Really, or it used to be. It's really a good magazine. But anyway, in this most current issue, they have an article on knotting, Knotting, which is kind of a precursor to tatting. And knotting probably is something I could pick up really easy. Because I knot a lot. Knot a lot. Hi, Cynthia McCoy. Welcome in. It's good to see you. My summer got by also in a blur. Yeah. Katia, when are you going to start up classes again? Are you starting in October too? Are you going to start in September or October? When's your next class? You all, if you want to, I will, Katia, you are a mod. Would you put a link to your website? She has a playlist of all last year's classes. And if you're wanting to even learn to tat, needle tat, Katia is good with shuttle tatting. I tell you, Katia does it all. But she teaches the needle tatting as a part of the online tatting class. And she'll probably start up classes again. You're starting in September. Do you know what day? I would encourage you guys to get with Katia and find out what. I don't know. Do they still have to register through the online tatting class, or do you handle registration by yourself, or do you just announce when the classes are going to be? I tell you, I have good things to say. There's her website. So if you don't think you're good at tatting, needle tatting, you are. Katia can set you on the road to she explains things so well. Now she is Canadian, so she speaks what do you call that? French English or English French? She speaks both. But her native tongue is French. So sometimes you have to listen closely to what she's saying. But she does a really excellent job of teaching the tatting. Excellent, excellent. I recommend her highly. There's no charge. The classes are free. You're starting in September. Okay, so Katia's here. Cynthia, Legia, Roseanne, Artful Esther, Belinda, Angie. One big hello, she says. Legia, Katia, Lizzie Jean, Belinda, Artful Esther, Roseanne. I'm just seeing if I missed anybody. Joyce, good to see you, Joyce. Sharon Lombard. Hi, Sharon. I ran across some happy mail from you when I was sorting. Belinda, saying hello to everybody. Artful Esther. Did I miss anybody else? Jacqueline way at the top. Lizzie Jean, Artful Esther, Joyce. I think I've covered everybody. I'm making sure here. Angie, Roseanne, Joyce, Roseanne, Legia. Michelle Black. Welcome in, Michelle, if you're out there. You came in a few minutes ago. Several minutes ago. So if you're still there, welcome in. All right, I think I went too clear to the top. Let's go to the bottom. Katia says, I just announced when the classes are going to be. I should start around the 2nd or 3rd week in September. So you guys bookmark that page and watch for Katia. Grab the link and subscribe to it. And yeah, she'll announce. Lizzie Jean says, Mary, you remind me of me losing things on my desk. I tell you, it was so weird this morning. I was doing my Friday morning stream, and I couldn't find the glossy accent. I looked all over for it, couldn't find it, so I used tacky art glue. And you know, I was cleaning up my desk, and there the glossy accent was sitting right there. I don't know if I moved it there just unconsciously or what, but yeah. All right. So I'm going to get started with some background color. Now, I don't think that I think I'm zoomed out as much as I can go here. Yeah, I can't zoom out anymore. So for the background color, I'd like to keep this fallish. So I'm going to put a yellow if I have it. Yeah, I have yellow. I'm probably running out. And you know what? My brushes are probably pretty dirty. I forgot to clean my water. I was watching Jacqueline this afternoon. I did not get any mowing done. No mowing done. Let's see what this brush is like. Is it clean or dirty? My water is dirty, so my brushes will probably be Well, it's not too bad. We'll put a little dark in the yellow. It's not too bad. And I'm just going to put yellow background here because it'll all get blended in. Now, the top of my page is right here, and you can see that. And when I get to the bottom, I'll push my paper up. Mary, remind me of losing things. By the way, it's nice to be able to join your live again. I know, Katia, I've missed you. And I know a lot of comments. Like Tammy was teaching that beginning needle class, and a lot of folks have said, we miss Katia. And Tammy would say, she'll be back in. She'll be back. She's got a lot going on this summer. And I don't know if I'll ever learn how to needle tat. Oh, and I was telling you, I went to that quilting store and I bought this really pretty shuttle to inspire me to keep shuttle tatting. Oh, I guess I'm just going to get paint on my black surface. I took the glass piece off and it's just foam rubber on the bottom here. And we're just going to give it a yellow background, a real quick yellow background. And when I do these pick 10s and 12s, it generally takes me all night. So you guys, if you need to leave or if you want to leave, feel free. I understand. We're only one person, aren't we? And as much as we'd like to be in 20 million streams at once, we can't. Even though we turn more than one tab on, I think only one tab is active at the same at one time. So just, I understand. I know there are times that I'd like to be in 3 or 4, but you can come back, and if you do watch the replay, feel free to, looks like I got a something on there. A little piece of lint or something. Feel free to zip through. I don't expect people who watch the replays to watch every second of the replay. If you find something interesting, stop and watch it further. But I'm happy if you come back and say, how did that turn out, Mary? And I'm going to have to put just a little bit more paint on here. Lucia says, so true. So many good streamers to watch in so little time. That is so true. And to be honest with you, it didn't be like that even 3 or 4 years ago. The streaming has really exploded in the last couple years, especially in our art community. People have the ability to go online a lot more than they used to. I mean, I think that's a good thing, but pace yourself. I'm learning that. I have had to take several breaks this summer from my streaming just because you just wear yourself out. So if you're a streamer and you're tired, rest. Take a rest from it for, like, at the end of July into the first part of August, we went down to the lake. And even though I had pretty good internet service, I didn't do much online. I said I was going off grid, but I really truthfully wasn't off grid that much. I mean, they had really good internet service down there. And I probably could have been streaming, but I didn't. I did a lot of fussy cutting. All right, I see a lot of white spaces in here, but for the background, I don't think it's going to matter. I don't need a solid color. So I'm going to pull this down again. I'm going to hit this quick with the heat gun, and then we're going to go on to prompt 2. And let me get my heat gun out. I think it's still plugged in from this morning. careful with the cord and don't run over it. Shouldn't take too long to dry this. Heat gun alert! So I think the second prompt is two tall ladies. But I'm thinking what I want to do is go measure the back side here and make sure I have the same size here on the front side. If I want to make, I don't think I'll make postcards because I'm doing two sides. I'll probably make tags. I think ATCs would, I think they're, I don't think that the other side would make good at ATCs. Let me tip this paper a little. So when I tip it in the light, I can see the wet spots. Shouldn't take too long to dry this. And I don't usually work this large, but it's fun. This is watercolor paper. It's Strathmore, and I used to buy it. I used to wait till they had a 40% off. I don't think they ever had a coupon for this size of paper. And but they don't sell Strathmore anymore. They went to their own master brand that they have. They sell the paper, but the paper is the cheaper paper. I don't buy it anymore. If I buy this size, I got 2 big tablets of this, which will last me a long time. But if I buy big paper like this, I'll buy it at Dick Blick or someplace like that. But I don't need any. Make sure that I got all the shiny spots dried out. Got a couple little spots there. The wet spot in there someplace. Right here. Yep, right there. Well, it'll be wet, but I'll be painting over it. So what I want to do is figure out what I was thinking for sizes. I was thinking 4.5 by 6, but it might be 3.5 by 5.5. So let me get my ruler out here and see the big ruler out. The big ruler here somewhere. So this is 1, 2, 3.5. So I was making it 3.5 by 5.5, I think. 5.5 goes to there. And I'm going to get out a paint pen and mark it off here with a paint pen. This should mark it. If that doesn't, this should, but we'll try this one. And I'm going to mark it on both sides. So give me... Now, I think I'm going to go by 3.5 by 5.5. I think that's what I was doing. So... One, two, 3.5. Boy, I'll tell you, this ruler is seen its day. 3.5 is right there, and dirty right there. I know where the dirty spot is. Right there. And right here. So if I mark these off when I'm doing my prompts, I'll know kind of where, because if I make tags, I don't want it being, well, I don't mind if something floats over to the next page, but I kind of want it to make sense. All right, so from here I can go 3.5, 7. So there's 1. 3.5 is here. 3.5 and 3.5 is 7. And another 3.5 is 10.5. And a half, 1, 2, 3, 14. That makes sense. And 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and a half would be right here. Now I want to do the same thing. I lose these caps. So I'll probably be at this a while. 1, 2, 3.5, 7, 10.5. Is it 14? Wait, 7. That's not there. I'm gonna let that off real fast. 7, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 10.5. And then 14. And then, what did I say, 15.5? 1, 2, 3, 17.5. Which is right there. One more time. I'm not good at fast math online. I have to just ask Becky. Becky and Allie K are always correcting my math, which is okay with me. If you guys want to correct me, Jacqueline tried to this morning. I told her it was my art journal. It was my playground. If it was wrong, if it was backwards, I had the flag. She said the flag, I think she called it the Union, the blue with the stars should, when you're hanging it vertically, the blue square should be up in the upper left, and I had it in the upper right. But I was thinking about it. I would have to flip that over to make it right, and I would have had the back side of the napkin. So I told her it's my journal, it's my playground. She got, I was just trying to help you, Mary. And I really don't mind. I really, really don't mind. But I might talk back to you sometimes. 1, let's say a half, 1, 2, 3, 7. Yeah, 7 and 10.5 and 14 and 17.5. All right, now I just want to make some vertical lines this way. I'm pretty good about taking advice and listening to what you guys say. But sometimes I just want to do it my way. Do you ever get like that? I was like that with my mom a lot. But I want to do it my way. All right, I tried to tell you. That's what Dee Dee says. We tried, Becky, we tried. I get the biggest kick when Becky and Dee Dee say that. We tried. And Dee Dee, bless her heart. Bless her heart. Ah, such a sweet gal. All right, let me get this ruler straighter. And these may not be perfect, but they'll be close to the right size. And this pen is running out of paint. This is one of the original ones, I think. But it's enough. It's enough. So this is 18 inches wide, and I think it's 22 inches. It's 18 inches this way and 22 inches this way, I believe. This is 17 and a half here. Where's that mark? Right in there. Yeah, Jacqueline has me in the autumn, the burr mood. The burr mood, the September, the October. She's got me in the burr mood. All right, now we want 5 and a half, and I'm going to let this flip down over my desk because I want to measure 5 and a half this way, which should be here. So 5 and a half. 1, 2, 3, 10 and a half. Is that right? Yeah, 10 and a half. And, well, let's just make sure I got my head on straight. That's only 4 and a half. It has to be 5 and a half. It has to be down here. And these will all get covered up, all these lines. So let me make sure I have this right. 5 and a half. 5 and a half. And come at it this way. 5 and a half. So I'm going at 5 and a half, 11, and 16 and a half. And all these marks that I'm making on here, they'll get worked in. 5 and a half, 11, and what did I say? 16 and a half. Yeah, I made my mark there. So 16 and a half. Right there. We got to do this on the other side too. Sorry. 5 and a half. 10 and a half. And 16 and a half. And I got to make these lines match up with what I'm doing on the other side. But I'd rather take the time and do it and be halfway satisfied with it. 5 and a half. I might have to get out another marker. 10 and a half. And 16 and a half. And I could really skip a line, and I don't have to do it on every line, Mary. So 5 and a half, 10 and a half, and 16 and a half. Now I want to draw lines this way. And whenever you work on a big sheet like this, when you're doing pick 10s and stuff, you can just go to it and do it and let the shapes and everything fall where they will. But I like to have, like on here, I think I'm going to paint owls in here. Or, you know, like this is the moon. I could also put black cats in here. And I could put something down in here. Something simple. I don't know if I'm going to use the prompts on this side. All right. What did I do? Did I get off here? Looks like I got off. Oh, I went. All right. I see. I got off 5.5. Is right in here. Sometimes that little space, I forget that the 0 starts about almost a ½ inch, probably about 3/8 of an inch in from the side of the ruler, and it always throws me off. So ignore that. It'll get covered up when I work on it. And I really messed it up here. 5.5. It's down in there. It's all good, Mary. All right. Yeah, I'm off just a little here. Not too much. There we go. Now, I want to put the cap back on this. I don't like these caps. I think this should be the same color as my marker, rather than just a little spot there and a little spot there. I keep saying that. Where's my... We're going to turn it over, and I hope you have patience. Have patience. Have patience. Where's my black? Well, I could use a blue. What color is this? Purple. We'll use the purple. Purple and yellow. So I have to be careful how I mark the other side because I need the marks to match this. So I'm going to start 5.5 up here in this corner over here. Ooh, does that look yellow to you guys? It looks pink to me. Does it look yellow? It kind of looks like a light pink. It's my lighting. All right, so I need this to be 3.5. So I'm going to have to come from my upside down ruler and set that at there, and 3.5, 7, and no matter if my marks don't match, when I cut it according to what the trimmer has. So I cut it in half, and I cut it this way, and then I cut it in the trimmer. 1, 2, where's my 3.5? That's 4, 3.5, 7, 10.5, and is it 14.5? 1/2, 1, 2, 3. We'll go to 14, and is that right? 17.5. Feels like I should have more. See if that seems right. There. This is my last one. Oh, I have one more. Yeah, I have one more after this. I can get another 3.5 on there. Is that right? Yeah, my 1/2 inch it's got a spot on it. All right. And then I want to do that again. So turn my ruler upside down. Three and a half, 7, 10.5, 14, 17.5, and then another 3.5. Which looks right. One more. So 3.5, 7, 10.5, 14, 17.5, and then one more. Right there. Now I can draw. Yeah, I knock things off. I try to clear my desk the best I can, but I'm always knocking stuff off. I knocked the pen off. Alright. Let's draw lines here. And again, they won't be perfect, but they'll be pretty close to perfect. Pretty close to perfect. I'm giggling because Mary's never pretty close to perfect. I want to tell you guys that are in here, if you get an email or a text or some sort of a message that looks like it's from me, I got one that kind of, it didn't upset me, but it really set me to thinking, because they have my email address. They know who I am, because I answered them because I thought it was Janet Young. At first, I didn't get suspicious until they started asking me for money. Then I got suspicious. I go, that isn't Janet. They start out by saying, hi, how are you? How's your day? And you know, Janet Young never emails me. She's busy with other things in her life. She might email me if I have a question or something like that, but, you know, we aren't like Dee Dee and Janet. And I said, I'm doing fine, how are you? And then she asked me if I had an Amazon account. And I said, yeah. I thought, why? And she said she wasn't doing so great. She slipped and fell. She said she was in the hospital. She broke her leg. And I go, oh, well, when did that happen? And the next thing she asked me was the money request. She said her card got declined, and that was real suspicious to me. Now this is the side I'm going to start cutting on over here, because this line should match, and it does, this line. So now I need to measure 5.5. 3.5 and 5.5 is about the minimum that you can make a postcard. But I'm not going to do postcards, I'm going to do tags here. But anyway, she said, would you would you order a DoorDash card for me? 5.5, 11, and I think it's 17.5. I go down 11. Yeah, let's go down another 5.5 and then I'll measure. So 5.5, 11, and 15.5. No, 16.5. And these lines will pretty much get covered up. It just helps me know where my tag boundaries are going to be. So I never answered her after that. I messaged Dee Dee and said, did Janet fall? You know, and then I told Dee Dee, I told her about the money request, and she said Janet would never do that. And I'm going, well, that was spam. So I tried to block it. But my email account, for some reason, it has a spam option. You can report it as spam. But it doesn't block it, because she messaged me again the next day, because I didn't answer it. And she just messaged me, whoever they were, I don't even know if it was a she, messaged me with just 3 question marks. And I reported that to spam too, but I looked all over for a block on my email account. I couldn't find it. And that, I'm going to have to maybe get some technical help with that, because I think you should be able to block those type of things. I don't want that. And 11. But the reason I'm telling you guys all this is I will never, ever message you or email you or text you and ask for money, or ask you to get a card or something like that out of the blue like that. What do I have? 5.5. And so, and if you get something like that that looks like it's from me, I would just automatically block it or spam. And then the other thing is, I have 2 email accounts that I use, and one is my channel name here, and then my real name that I really don't use for personal stuff, 16.5. That I use for personal stuff that I don't use for art stuff, generally. Unless maybe I'm buying a book or something. But most of the time, if I'm buying a book or something, I use the Meri Atelier one. So Dee Dee said, look at her email account. And so I did, and I showed Dee Dee what it was, and she said, that's not Janet's email account. So check the email account, and if it's a weird email account, you know something's up. And, you know, there's probably not much Janet could do, but you could warn people not to answer those type of emails. They start out like you think that they're your friend, you know. Now, I do support, you know, GoFundMe and things like that, and I mentioned the joins on my channel and YouTube stuff. But that's all through YouTube. That isn't me asking you to go get a DoorDash. And I was thinking, does Amazon even sell DoorDash? I have gift cards. I never even... And she said, I'll pay you back tomorrow. I'm going, sure you will. All right. This one's a little off here, but that's okay because these others are matching up. All right, now I'm not going to cut this at this point, but I have a sense of where I'm going to put things in here. And I know I'm going to have to work. If I want this, this is going to be the top over here. Let's turn it this way. Because my circle is there. And you know what? I did it wrong. I did it wrong. No! Because this is from the top down. And I got it. I got it backwards. Well, phooey. I'm going to leave my lines in here. I'll just keep my mistake because most of this will get worked over. I'm going to change my marker. I did it wrong! Just like Meri does everything wrong. Where's my markers? Where are they? I have them out here. Honestly, Meri, what'd you do with them? You had them here? Here, they're on the second shelf. I'm going to do it right. With a different color. And I suppose red would probably be the best. It isn't going to matter because I'll work those. I'll probably paint over all of this. I was thinking I was doing it all right, and I'm doing it all wrong. I should have checked. Yeah, it's wrong. Well, these lines are right. The horizontal lines are wrong. So these are 3.5. They're okay. I have to do this different here. Arrgh. But I'll just work with it. I'll just work with it. 5.5. 11. And what is it? 16.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 16.5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16.5. All right. I did it wrong, but we'll do it right. I caught it. I'm glad I caught it now and not when I got ready to cut it. I said, Meri, you did it all wrong. This way I can recover. It's only these 2 lines that are wrong here on that one. I can work that in. I could probably paint them out, but we'll just work with it. 5.5, 11, and 16.5. I'll probably get confused as I go. I'll probably still get it wrong. 5.5, 11, and 16.5. Maybe I'll paint them out. Won't take long to do that. Or at least just mark them out with a marker. White them out or something. 5.5. 11. And 16.5. Yep, leave it up to Meri. She always thinks she knows what she's doing. 5.5 is there. 5.5. 11. And you guys were probably trying to tell me, Meri, you're doing it wrong. And I always see it after the fact. Yeah. This comes down a little. Always have after the fact. Or I'll be doing something and I'll do it, and then I'll go back and read the chat, and somebody said, you could have done, you know, or they don't say could have, they told me to do it one way, and I already have it done. Well, that's a good idea, but I've already finished. A lot of pretty lines on here, I have to say. My head knows it, what I'm doing here. I'm correcting my mistake. Yeah, I think I'll paint those other lines out with a marker. It won't be, it'll probably be white, but I could probably get the yellow paint out again. This paint doesn't look yellow to me in this lighting. It looks yellow in my camera, but with this lighting that I have, it looks pink. And my reds always look pink to me. All right, let's see what I have here. I'll mark those other lines out, because they're going to get painted over anyway. Let's see if the white will cover it. I have a white. I have a yellow, but I don't know if that will cover it. White. I'll see what I have. Hold on. So I want to mark these lines out. Yeah, it doesn't really cover it too well, but at least I know not to use those. It's not covering it like I want it. Let's go to the paint. This is what I used. Is that what I used? I think that's the color I used. It looks lighter. Just get a brush. And that's not the brush I used. It's still dirty. There we go. That's better. And I just need little marks to guide me, to get a sense of where the tag's going to be. I think this is a different color yellow. I'm going to use it. Just paint these lines out. This is really just set up. But I didn't think much about what I was going to do ahead of time, so when I do something like this, it's kind of like part of the pick 10 or pick 12. And all I'm doing is whiting out these black lines so that I won't cut it in the wrong spot. And most of it will get covered up anyway. Doesn't bother me. Alrighty. And they'll be a little wet. So I guess I should dry it. But let's flip it and see if this should be, yeah, it is. And so my circle, my first circle is right up in here. And my last one is there. I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll have 18 tags. And that's really too much. That's why when I do something like this, it takes me forever. Who came in? Let me refresh my chat while let me refresh my chat. All messages. Kellyanne says, hi, Joyce. Legia says, hi, Kathy Diddle, minus the flower beds. Kathy, what did Kathy, hi, Kathy. Oh, hi, Kathy, Calico Kate, welcome in. She says, hello, everyone, I'm watching from my bed, hoping to sleep tonight after a busy day making flower beds. Oh, wow. What are you planting? Mums? Are you planting mums? Or are you just making the beds, Kathy? And Legia says, diddle minus the flower beds. She's in bed. Legia says, I'm in bed too. Well, thank you for watching me in your sleep. If you fall asleep, that's okay. I understand. I kind of took a nap. I kind of fell asleep in my recliner after my stream with my phone in my hand. And I even sleep through the blaring TV. I even sleep through the blaring TV. Okay, I think I'm ready for prompt 2. So I have a sense of where these tags are going to be. This is what takes me so long. 2 tall ladies. Joyce is here. Joyce says, Angie, I guess I'm tired. I've been moving into my newly painted bedroom. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I was going to go out and mow today, but at first it well, that's kind of one reason I kind of fell asleep in the recliner, because I was ready to go out and mow, and I looked outside and it looked like it might rain. It was pretty cloudy. And then I checked the weather report and they said there was a heat warning out. And I don't like to be out in that heat, so I did not mow today. I did not mow. I'm going to pick up the big spots. All right, I think I'm pretty good here. We're going to call that good. I want to get busy on my prompts. So the first prompt was on this page here. Let me show it to you. Whoops. Got the magazine backwards. I still have it backwards. Where is that prompt? The first one is on 135. One more. And it was a subscription page, and all it has is the cover. I want to show you the 2 tall ladies here. 2 tall ladies right there. And so I do think I'm going to make 2 tall ladies. And I may not put every prompt on every card because, well, the word cottage I can get in there. We have rust and patina. I can do that. Grunge circles. I think I can get most of the prompts on. We'll see. Let's do the 2 tall ladies. And I'm going to draw one and get it going here. I'm going to use one of those. Let's use my Tombow marker. And we're going to start over here. Get my prompts off of the... And I may get paint on here. So, see this, I'm going to put an owl in here. This will all change. So, let's put my magazine over here so I can see. And they're pretty simple because they're in dresses. And then come down, they have long dresses. And she's got a V-neck. like that. And then the other lady is standing next to her, kind of. She's kind of got a waist, and her dress is longer. So we'll make it just a little longer. This dress ends in here and it has some pleats. Doesn't have to be perfect. And she's got a little heart going up here. And she's got her neck. And then she's just got a simple head like this. And I can't really see what she has for hair. But we'll give her some hair. Something like that. It may not be that long. Something like that. And then this other lady stands next to her. And her dress comes, she's got a V-neck like this. And she's got a kind of a slender waist. And it comes down. That might be a little more slender than I intend. It's going to get painted like that. And then her dress looks like it has a blue sash on it. I'm not going to do that, but it has a wide border like this. And then it's figured. This is ruffled. This is some sort of a checky figure in here. Some sort of a, like that. And then they both have feet. Now, as I draw these 18 times, and what I usually do is that, like something like this, where if I have to do repetitive, I make a pattern, but these are simple enough. And she's got an arm, and you don't see her arm. That I'm going to give her an arm because I think she needs an arm on mine. And what did I do with her foot here? What did I do with her foot? Like that. And she's got a foot. Pretty simple stuff. And I'm just going to give her a shoe and another shoe. And then in her head, she's just got, maybe her neck isn't quite that tall. And her hair is kind of short too, and something like that. Two tall ladies. Now that I'm going to look at my own drawing, I'm going to do that 18 times. Two tall ladies. And so let's get at it. Yeah, they won't all look the same. And maybe a little bit more like that. Comes down. And she's got her ruffles here. And she's got a V-neck. Something like that. Let's give this lady her head. And they'll probably look different from page to page. She's got a heart. She's got a heart, and we'll give her a hand here. And this lady is skinnier, but I keep... Alright. Bring her down, bring her way down. Like that. And we're just going to make little feet here. She's got a long dress. Her little shoes. And another shoe. And I'm going to kind of do this fast. And And I never know when to stop. When I do this stuff, I'm always doing stuff more than what I need to do. I never know when to stop. Let's give her a collar like that. I don't know how I'm going to get 5 ladies on here. I might change that and make it a wild card, that 5 lady prompt. Although I really like those 5 ladies. Alright, we'll give her a V-neck. Give her a dress coming way down. Pretty straight down. Give her an arm. Give her a heart. And some hair. And then the other lady's shoulder has to come more like that. Come like this. Way down. We'll make her ruffles in here. And her border of her dress is a tall border. And she's got a V-neck like that. And oh, she's got big hips. Give her an arm here. Give her a neck and a head. The heads are pretty simple. They're just kind of like little ovals. And the hair is pretty simple too. Alright. And I think I'm going to make that dress, that border a little, so I can give her some feet. She needs to have feet. And she needs feet. Just kind of put them in there. Well, I'm on the 4th one. 2 tall ladies. Give her some hair. Give her a shoulder. Give her a V-neck. And her dress comes down pretty straight. Give her a arm here. And you can see these aren't meant to be perfect. They're meant to just be fun little, and I think even on the, if you would look at it in the art journal, you would see these aren't perfect. These are not meant to be perfect. They're meant to just represent 2 tall ladies. And she's got a big V-neck and her arm. And let's give her a head. And some hair. And some feet. And I'm just kind of making marks. Not meant to be, oh, her foot is really bigger than that. Alright, I've done 4. The last one on this row. Let's give her a head. And some hair. A shoulder. And a V-neck. And her dress comes pretty much straight down. And she's got some ruffle. Make it up taller. She's got an arm. I gave her an arm. The other lady's standing next to her. Kind of comes like that. She's got a wide border at the bottom of her dress. Comes up and kind of, she's got a hip. Comes up like that. She's got a wide V-neck. And there's her head and some hair. And an arm. And some feet. And shoes. Her feet, the feet here are just more or less just little lines on mine. Okay. 2 tall ladies. I might not like that line. A head with some hair. Her shoulder, a V-neck, dress coming down, an arm. Next to her is another lady. And her dress comes down. She's got ruffle on the bottom. And she's got a V-neck. And here's her head. And another shoulder. Oh, she's got a heart. And her dress comes down. Whoops, she's really skinny. And some legs. And shoes. And I'm just kind of really fast sketching these in. Just I'll come back and paint them. And then she's got an arm. Let me stop and look at chat. I've got 5 of them done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 done. I'm halfway there. Angie, when you sell out, you can take orders. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Legia is going to sell some Angie bowls. Angie, you're going to make a killing on those bowls. Legia says, Angie, I'll be wrestling people for one of your bowls. Hi, Lucia. Hi, Lucia. I think Jacqueline said it would probably be sometime in late September, October, up in there. Lucia says, I did a bad thing today. I signed up for the Whatnot app. It's an auction app. Is that like what Pink Girly was talking about the other day? The Whatnot app. Yeah, I think Pink Girly was telling us about that. No, or was it Susan Hiles? It was either Pink Girly or Susan Hiles. It might have been Susan Hiles. I watched Susan Hiles. We used to pal around a lot. I still watch her channel. I think it was Susan Hiles. Lucia says hello. Yeah, it was Susan Hiles. So that's where I almost signed up for it, but Lucia, I've got to stop buying stuff. I like to go to Jacqueline's sale, and I like Rebecca's sale, and I like Debbie Epps' sale, and but you know, I have to pare down my buying. Mary, it will be in the middle of October. So Angie's going to be busy making those bowls. Everybody loves Angie's bowls. In the middle of October, Lucia. I would think that Jacqueline will announce it ahead of time, so everybody will have a heads up. Mary, did you see all the tatting pieces she got? No, I didn't. I didn't watch that far into it. Wow. She got a lot of tatting pieces. Why is that bad, Lucia? Allie asks. Yeah, I don't think that's so bad. It's bad because we spend. And you know, you guys who've been watching me sort out of here know I have more, almost have more than I can handle. So I need to use up a lot. I need to use up like this. I did this about 3 or 4 years ago. And I'm using it up. I think I have 2 more sheets like this. I need to use them up. Miss Allie K, because I am now going to spend more money. Yeah. Well, you know, yeah. I don't mind you spending your money, Lucia. Oh, you guys. Patty. Which Patty came in? Patty Crane. Hi, Patty. Welcome in, welcome in. It's good to see you. Let's see, what else is going on up there? Andrew's selling bowls. Lucia signed up for the Whatnot app. Legia says, Angie, I'll be wrestling people for one of your bowls. Angie says, Kel, I just hope that I can please everyone that's want one. I want, or I have to work hard like I did the last time, and she doesn't want to do it wrong, she's saying. Allie K says, Angie, how did you do at your sale thing last weekend? I think she said she made $12. Angie, you should be making more than that. We know that. And with your bowls are going to sell well at Jacqueline's. So focus on that. Focus on that, Miss Angie. Lucia says, let us know when you're going to be selling. Angie, you will have to let us know. Kellyanne says, Angie, selling with Jacqueline is fun. You will do well. Yeah. Angie says, Joyce, everyone under the sun has been asking for them. You're going to be busy, Miss Angie. Angie, that's neat. Let's say, who was playing Allie? What did Allie say? Angie says, Joyce, in the middle of October, I would be selling my bowls. Lucia says, hi, Allie K. I'm reading backwards. Lucia says, I love going to the bazaar around Christmas time. Yeah, Lucia, I just associate you with Christmas. I'll tell you, Lucia generally does her house up really nice for Christmas. Just has a Christmas house. Makes you feel warm all over. Allie K says, hello all. I've been finished watching the ball game with Dad. Joyce says, Angie, you should do good before Christmas. Yeah. Angie says, Lucia, yes, maybe next one will be better. It's in September. One more in October, then they're all done. Whoops. Yeah, I'm making tags out of this. This was some paper that I planned to do snow globes on, but the snow globes never got done. So I think I'm going to paint owls in here. I probably won't get this all done tonight because it's already 9:10 and I don't want to be up all night. I'll just work on it. I got my prompts. I'll just work on it probably all next week. I did this afternoon, though, work on my shadow box. I just about have all the orange felt in the shadow box. And I'm going to get some of that. What I want, I think you can get it to, it's a kind of a putty-like that you can get to hang pictures and stuff with, posters. I'm going to look for some of that to put little things in my shadow box. Lucia, not good. $12 is all I made. Yeah. Well, you know, when people go to those bazaars, generally they're not big spenders, Angie. You'll do much better at Jacqueline's. Lucia says, Kellyanne, I plan to take a long bathroom break during her stream. Oh, is that my stream? You're going to take a long bathroom break? Angie, Lucia, you sure? Make sure you take breaks. Lucia says, what's Meri working on? Kellyanne says, Lucia, you will miss Jacqueline's sale. What? Let's see. Brenda says, hello, Lucia. I'm reading backwards. Angie, I gotta be up at 5 a.m. We're starting my niece's move at 6 a.m. to her new apartment tomorrow. Oh, you're going to be busy, Lucia. Her dad rented a truck and he has to return by 6 p.m. So we got to hustle and be done. Well, you know, with several people working on something like that, it goes pretty fast. It goes pretty fast. Not like if you're somebody like me. One thing, though, when I get this stuff sorted out and in boxes, and Dee Dee said, Meri, put like things with like. I'm going to do that. But I'm just getting everything out now so that I can sort it. And a lot of it, I'm going to have 3 different type of boxes. I'm going to have art materials like this that I'm working on, and things in my magazine. And things that I will use. Then I'm going to have boxes or containers of things that projects and things that I want to work on next, or they're in process, something like that. Not anything that I'm working on immediately. And then I'm going to have things that I'll put upstairs. I probably will store things upstairs. I've got to work upstairs. It gets so hot up there in the summer. I have to wait till it gets cooler. I moved all Mom's books upstairs into the room that I'm using upstairs, but I'm going to take them out of the room I'm using them and put them in the room that we got, a west room that my brother's significant other still has a lot of her stuff in, and she's been gone for 8 or 9 years. She's been gone for at least 9 years, if not more, because I've been down here 9 years. So it's time for some of her stuff to be moved out, and I have to be careful because my brother still is attached to some of that stuff. And he sees what she paid for it, and he thinks it's worth a lot more than it really is. But she's got things on shelves in there that I'm gonna take Mom's books out of the boxes and put her stuff in boxes. And that stuff really needs to go to storage. Because, I've been down here for 9 years and nobody ever uses it. We have one corner that's Christmas stuff, but we don't, we decorate at Christmas, but not like they used to. They got a lot of Christmas decorations that haven't seen the light of day up there. And that stuff could really go in storage, in a storage unit, or be gifted, or a garage sale or something. But I have to be careful about doing that because my brother still has an attachment to some of that stuff. And mostly it's a monetary attachment that I can't convince him that some of that stuff is no longer worth what she paid for it originally. And some of it stuff is nice. I mean, she had good taste. All right, let's see. Angie, I got to get up at 5 a.m. Hello, everybody. Hi, Mary. Lucia, this is where Lucia came in. Katia was out there. I don't know if she's still out there. Joyce says, Angie, I guess I'm tired. I've been moving into my bedroom, so I think I'm caught up with chat. My head keeps nodding off, Lucia says. Lucia, if you need to go to bed, you go get some sleep. You go get some rest. I don't mind. You come in here and you say hello to me. Angie says, Mary, I always send you a Gmail. Yes. So maybe Angie will let us know too ahead of time when she's going to sell those bowls. I'm sure she'll let us know in our chats, in our live streams. Kellyanne says, Mary, it's not 10 and a half, it's 11. Oh, did I mess up? I might have messed up. 10 and a half, 7. Oh no, I made it 10 and a half. 1, 2, 3, 3 and a half. No, it's 10 and a half. 3 and a half and 3 and a half is 7. Another 3 and a half is 10 and a half. I think you were thinking 4 by 6. You thinking I was doing 4 by 6? I'm doing 3 and a half by 5 and a half. Kellyanne, if you're out there. I'm doing 1/2, 1, 2. Oh wait, am I doing that? 7. No, 1, 2, 3. I gotta measure this way. 3 and a half. It's at 3 and a half. It's good. I'm good. I don't know if Kellyanne's still out there. I think she was thinking I was making them 4 by 6, because that would be 11. From 7 to 11 would be 4 inches. Oh, Susie was in here. She says, oh no, I'm here. Susie, she probably got tired and left. She says, I've been busier than a one-legged man in a fanny contest. She's probably, I don't know, she's probably gone by now. Susie says, I have been busier than a one-legged man in a fanny kicking contest. I'm exhausted. That's funny. Oh. Angie went looking for you, Susie. Susie says, I'm here, Roseanne. Susie, you're probably exhausted like me. Legia says, Lizzie, something to do with someone misspelling Super Bowl and tag a super owl. Superb owl. Legia, say goodnight to my son. Hugs for his mom. Aww. Susie was here earlier. She says goodnight to Legia. Roseanne says, hi, Susie. See, I have to read back in chat, and I have a feeling that some of you are gone to bed. You should make a doll with an owl head with high heels. Oh. You saying that I should put owl heads on all these dolls? Or are you talking to somebody else? The owls are back in style, like you said. I have an owl stamp. Let me draw an owl here. I can draw these owls pretty good. He comes like this. Let's see. He comes like this. And he's got a head here. And he's got two. And he's all... I carved a stamp. But he kind of has an owl head. And he kind of comes down like this. He's got a body. Something like this. And then he has... in here, this is all black, and then he's got some leaves, pretty little leaves in here. And he's got a rectangular nose and two big eyes, something like that. And I'm just kind of winging it here. Winging it. Something like that, my stamp. And then his body is all black. Let's see if I can just kind of shade this in. And he just kind of sits on a branch. And I'll probably have to go in with a white pen here and make this branch look better. But let's just do some leaves here if I can. When you're sketching it, it's kind of hard to... Oh, let's put a leaf up in there and a leaf there. I've got an owl stamp. I'll show it to you guys. I got it out here. His eyes and his nose is there, and these are all in silhouette. This one looks a little goofy. I'll paint it out. But he kind of looks like that. I don't have the detail in there. Let me grab that owl stamp. It's in this box. I'll stamp it out for you guys. It's been a while since I... Oh, that box of stamps is heavy. Oh, can't lift it with one hand. Hold on. I should probably put this in more than one box. Where's my owl? Where is he? There's the gargoyle. I had him the other day. Is he down below? See, I have a box in a box. That's what makes it heavy. What did I do with my owl? I think either Anne or Allie K. I think Anne gifted me this Moo card. I haven't done anything with it. Allie K gifted me a big eraser. I'm looking for my... Did I keep it out? Did I keep my owl stamp out? I can't find it now. Just because I want it. I might have kept it out and put it someplace. I can't find it. It was in this box. It's probably, is it out here? I probably have misplaced it. Is it? I don't see it in here. Well, phooey, whenever you want it, whenever you want something, I was showing these the other day and I found that owl stamp. And now it's on me. These are all stamps I've carved. This was an ugly sweater with a ghost on it. That's a domino. I think this was a tree. I don't know what that was. I'd have to stamp it. That's just a mark. I got a J, a dancing lady. Where's my owl? Is that it? Some of these stamps, you have to be careful. I'm beginning to feel, I think I'm going to have to take these out and put wax paper, because I can feel them feel kind of sticky. Look at that. This high polymer. Look at that. Let's get that out of there. I don't know what that was, but it is sticky. Look at that. It was a word. Ah. I've never seen that happen to one of these erasers. So be aware when you're carving with this high polymer that look what happened here. Now they're not all like that. Look at that. I've never had an eraser do that. It is stuck in there. Do I have a palette knife that I can get that out with? I had a whole bunch of palette knives. I don't know what that was carved. It was something. I'm going to throw it away. I've never had an eraser do that on me. Huh. Look, it even bit my knife. It's getting thrown away. I think I'm going to take these and put them in little baggies before they all get like this. I don't know if a baggie would make it sweat, but at least it would keep them separate. I've never had a eraser do this. Well, just be aware that can happen. I don't know what stamp that was. I don't know how long ago I had it. I have no idea what this was, but it is... It's a mess! Take the clean ones out. Yeah, I've been doing that. I'm thinking I'm going to put them in... Well, it might be wise to wrap them in wax paper. And I don't know if I want to put them in baggies or not. I think baggies might make them sweat. Little jewelry bag type things might make them sweat. I don't know why that happened. The others are good. It might have just been the composition of it. I think that's the bottom of the box. I'll have to spend some time and what time is it? It's 9:30. I want to see what this bottom one. This bottom one is speedy carve. It should be okay. This one I carved in 19. I think this was the year 2000. This was a New Year stamp. 2019. 2019. It was a new year. And then I've got all the days here, and this represents a clock with And I just put stars and stuff. This was Speedy Carb. This one's okay. And I think the others are okay too. I think that one was just, but I think I'll get some waxed paper. And I like carving with these high polymer erasers. These don't feel bad. Here's another. This is a crowd of people here, just kind of in silhouette. I should be putting wax paper between these. I'll have to get these out, and there should be a nice a ways you could store these. That number 7. That's an A and an 8. 5 or a J. I don't know what that. I think that's just stars. I don't have any paper right with me. My bunny rabbits, I carved them a couple times before I was happy with them. This I wanted to make a picture frame, and I never did like it. That's Speedy Carb too. Those should be okay. Eyes. I did the eyes. They're looking up. And a 2 and a, I think that's a 6 when you stamp it. A 3 and a J. I think I was doing an alphabet. This was an A and a flourish. I got more stamps than just this. This is just a flourish type thing. This is a Halloween spider. I think I kept my owl out. I'm not sure where I put him. I was going to show you my owl, but he's certainly not in here. Here's a ghost. Those 2 are Halloween ones. There's another eye. The dancing lady. I think this is tatting. I did a tatted. I don't know about the top here. Those aren't rings. Those are just, should stamp it out, but these are chains. Playing. Another A. Well, I don't know. I was going to show you the owl. I might have taken him out because I had these out before. I don't see him around here. But I cleared my desk off before I started tonight. Here's a pattern for that bat. I'll leave it on top. My domino. You know, I had that. No, I had this box in here. I need to keep these boxes separate. Oh, I do all sorts of dumb stuff. You know, things don't last forever. If it ruins, it ruins. I'll carve another one, except I don't know what it was. My hands are all dirty now. But anyway, my owl looks something like this shape. And he's got big eyes, and he's got a nose, and then he's got a pretty little floral in there. I got some postcards. All right. Whoops, I got some up here. I got the gargoyle. This is a gargoyle. He turned out pretty good. You can't see his face, but if I stamp him, and here's this a scribble one. And this is a, looks like a cattails. I did cattails. The Speedy Carb should be okay. If I can get them in there. This fits here. Let's. I don't know. Should fit. Pretty good. Not quite. I don't know what caused it to do that. The others are okay. Put down in. I need a bigger box. It's still not closing good. These are all blanks, I think. I don't think my owl is in here. I have a stamp for that, but I never liked that design. Here's my owl. Here he is. Let's stamp him out. Because I was pretty happy with that one. Put this back in there for now. These boxes get heavy with all that stuff in there. Let's stamp him out, just for the fun of it. Since my hands are all dirty anyway. Clean my hands a little. They feel grungy. Feel yucky. Got paint on them. I'm not making much progress on my, you know, I might have cleaned that with that eraser. I might have cleaned it with alcohol or wipe, and it may have affected that. I'll bet you that's what happened, because the other stamps are okay. I'll bet you I cleaned it with a hand sanitizer, and I'll bet you it affected that eraser. I'll bet you that's what happened. I'll bet ya! Well, they're not clean, but they feel better. My hands. Let's get a piece of paper. Let's get a piece of paper. I have any paper here? Here we go. Well, these are the papers from that. Have any paper here? Mary asks. Of all the stuff I have, I put all my scrap paper away. And let me reach for it. Reach, Mary. Hold on. It's falling out of the folder. Let me grab onto it here. I have scrap paper. It's just falling out. I put my stencils in here that I was working with this morning. Put them in between these papers. I even put the sponge in there. I must have been tired. Alright, let's grab a paper. I want to stamp that owl for you because I do like him. We'll stamp him out just for the fun of it. Put that back up there. I got that gunk on here, that eraser gunk. I'll bet you that I got, boy, it's really gunky. Sticky stuff. I'll bet you that I got that hand sanitizer on it. Probably had some alcohol in it. Boy, it's gunky. Can't even get it off of the, where's my palette knife again? Huh. Well, just be aware that can happen. But be careful what you clean your stamps with. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. That's what I'm going to blame it on. Alright, now I need my hands feel dirty. I need a stamp pad. I haven't stamped for a pretty long time. I don't know how juicy this is, but we'll give it a try. I do have a refill here. No. I moved those refills because I moved them down here. Because I'm afraid I would drop them. Let me grab a hold of a refill. Oh, I must have moved them out. They're not here. The things are never where I want them. I thought I put them in this tin. They're not there. Must have moved them. I'll tell you, I get irritated with myself sometimes. We'll just see how juicy this is. Did I put them back up there? I might have put them in my tray. I have to look for. I've got ink refills. Let's just stamp this out. This is one of my favorite stamps. I don't know how juicy this pad is. I haven't used it for a while. And forgive all the dirty spots. We'll flip it over. It's dirty on the other side too. Where does Lucia live? Lucia lives in Oregon. Good night, Cal. Good night, Cal. Kellyanne says, good night, everybody. I pray that you have a great night's sleep. Bye for now. Bye, Kelly. Lucia says, good night, everyone. I'm going to run to town with my hubby. Have a great weekend, everyone. Good night, Lucia. Lucia lives in Oregon. I don't think she minds. I'm not going to tell you the town. She can tell you the town. Allie Kay says it's 9:30 here. So it's probably 2 hours, 7:30 there. She's on the West Coast. The melted stamp. Yeah, I just have a feeling that I might have used hand sanitizer to see if I could clean it. And I'll bet you that it really changed the composition of it. Oh, I didn't get him inked very good. My pad is... And you got to be careful when you carve, because I carved right out to the edge here. And when you ink it up, you have to really ink it good. I'm going to flip this over again to ink it, because I get it dirty. Ink it good on this side here. I usually refresh my pads if I haven't used them for a while, because this is kind of a dry. This is an old ink pad. I keep refreshing it with ink. Let's see if I can do any better. And then the Frugal Crafter goes, she blows on it with her breath. Let's see if I did this any better. We'll press on that pretty good. But see how I got the little leaves in there? I'm thinking I can stamp this. Let's see if it'll stamp in one of these. I can always paint it out again. They aren't painted that great anyway. I had trouble painting those circles. Nice. But I thought, well, I'm going to throw snow on them anyway. So I gave up trying to paint perfect circles. There. Let me hold him up so you can see him better. Oh. See my little owl? The second one here. He's one of my favorite ones. Let's see if I have an ink refresher. I might have put him up here on the tray. Here's an ink refresher. Let's refresh my ink. Let me get this paper towel picked up. Hold on. I took them out of my tin and put them up on my revolving cart, because I thought that I would find them better there. We're going to try to stamp him in one of these circles and see if he fits. He'll probably fill the circle pretty good. Let's refresh my pad. And I should have a tool to, let me see what I can find here. Let's use this. Now it's got that. Hold on, let me. So uncomfortable. Of course, it's got this eraser junk on it. Let's just fold it in half. I want to work my ink in the pad here. And these ink refreshers, they last a pretty long time, I have to say. I bought 3 of them a couple years ago and I'm still using them. Put that back on my revolving tray, my revolving cart. Put it down here with the, where I found it. And you just kind of work this in a little. You get it on your, you'll get it on your scraper, but, and I should probably buy a new ink pad, but I think I've had this one for as long as I've been down here. Okay, and I'm just going to stamp it on this side now. So I'm going to try it in this circle. And I want to make sure I get out to the edge. And let's see if I can fit him in there. He'll be kind of big. I should cut this out and do it that way, but we'll try it this way first. All right. And I could always make this circle just a little bit bigger. Mary's all night playing with this stuff. I used to do marathons where I get started on something like this and I don't get done till 5 o'clock in the morning. But I'm too tired. I'm leaving at 10. I think Pam, Ginger Pam is on. Juju might be on. There's other people on. I don't know if Juju's coming on tonight. But I streamed this morning. Fridays, I get a lot of stream time done on Fridays. And I put up a short of what to do with a blank piece of paper, if you guys haven't seen that. I've been having fun doing those shorts. Shall I lift it up and see what it looks like? Oh, he doesn't quite fit. So I need to make these circles. See, I just need to make it a little bit bigger. Let's take my paint pen and let's make one a little bigger. I could carve it again smaller, but I think I'd rather make the circles bigger. And let's see. I need a bluish one. I think this one. I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to play with these. I'll probably paint them all out by the time I get done. But that's what art journaling is all about. Play. Play. So what if your eraser melts? What did I do with that pen? There it is. All right, let's make this about a, these paint markers, I'm going to have to get some new ones. Let's make it about 1/4 of an inch, a little bit more than 1/4, not quite a half. And I'm just hand drawing it here. When I painted these, I made a template. I punched a circle out of my punch. You know, and it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Is the moon a perfect circle? Somebody tell me, is the moon a perfect circle? I don't think so. I'll bet you it's not, if you could put a string around the moon. If you could put a string around the moon, would it be a perfect circle? And these pens are getting dry. I've used these and used them and used them and used them. All right, we're going to try to stamp that owl. You know, I think I'm going to cut one out here and before I stamp it. There's my scissors. I didn't put my scissors away. Here they are. Let's cut this guy out over here. See if he fits, because I could still make it a little bigger. Or, you know, I could just cut this whole thing out, and he's still not quite fitting. I could stamp these on paper and collage them on there. Probably be the best thing. And even if his, you know, I could even put it down a little further like that and then paint a tree in there. That's probably what I'll do. That's probably what I'll do. Let's cut this out. I'm glad I found him because he's one of my favorite stamps. And he's not too hard to fussy cut. I think I could stamp him on some cardstock, or even copy paper would probably be better because I don't like to collage a lot of stuff, heavy stuff. But these are not going through the mail. These are tags, not postcards. They're not going to be mailed naked. As they say. If I mail them, they'll be in an envelope. See, we can put him right down in there. I like that. I like that. I can make him a, well, I would have to have a, in order for him to show up, but I could paint that owl. I could, I wonder if I could stamp part of it in, well, I don't really have white. I don't know if I'd want to stamp it in white. He needs to stand out. He could be a white owl. He could be a white owl rather than a brown owl. Or he could even be a yellow owl. I think I like it like this rather than trying to fit him inside like that. I don't like that at all. I think that's what I'll do. You guys aren't seeing it very well. You aren't seeing it up close. Well, I don't think I want to zoom in. I think that's what I'll do. I'll probably stamp this off on some nice cardstock. I'm not going to do it tonight because it's already 9:51. I'm going to keep this stamp out. If I go looking for it, I put it underneath of my, between the, thank you, Allie K. Good night, Angie girl. Juju says, dang it, I missed Meri. I will watch the replay. I took an Angie nap. Well, Juju, are you streaming tonight? Are you streaming at 10 Central? I'm getting ready to leave here in a few minutes. I'm going to stamp this out on some white cardstock. And I'll probably play with my moons. I might paint them yellow instead of blue. Have a blue moon. Well, these are originally going to be snow globes. And I think I had a white background, or a blue background, and I started painting them whiter up above here. If you could see, these are white snow globes. I think I'll paint my moons yellow. Only this yellow is too light. What color is this? This is, well, it is pink. It's not yellow. I got a pink background here. It's pink. It's not yellow. What did I do with my yellow? I thought it looked awfully pink. That yellow looks pink to me. I misread the label. Here's King's Gold. Oh, dear me. I'm not ashamed of my mistakes anymore. I've made so many mistakes that all you have to do is giggle and giggle at them and move on. Let me find a decent brush. Well, that's a decent one, but it's too wide. Let me find a brush I can use. That's a watercolor brush. Now, all my brushes are dirty. I want to try that yellow paint. Let's see, do I have a decent brush over here? That one right here, we'll use this one. It's a square brush. I know this is gold. I'm gonna paint that out. See if I can't make it. I do better drawing than I do painting a circle. Guess we're gonna have to watch the replay. Let's see. Let's see, what did Juju said? I just got here and she's on her way out the door, Jersey said. Aw. Juju, are you streaming tonight? She says she is. So Juju's gonna come on in a few minutes, Jersey. I stream on Friday night starting at 7:30. And I'm trying to leave at 10 o'clock or around 10. It might be a little after 10. I'll probably do this moon, and I'm trying to get the gunk out of that. Do this moon and sign off. I was sketching two ladies on my postcards, and then I read chat, and then I got off on a tangent here. I went down a rabbit hole. I tell you, I'm pretty bad on things. I'm pretty hard on my things. All right. I just want a little. I think I'm going to paint out of the cap. If I can get it open. I just want to see how this yellow looks on here. I don't know. Do I want a yellow moon? I think I do. We'll paint this yellow and we'll see how that owl looks on it. If I paint a yellow moon, I can make that owl a tan color or even a gray color. Or I could leave him white. I don't have much paint in there. And it's pretty thin. It's pretty thin paint. The paintbrush goes between my lips. This is just play. This is just play. It's awful juicy yellow. It's gold. It's a King's Gold. I have a gold moon. But I'll probably have to paint these. Well, I'm painting over black here. Let's see if I can make it a little bigger. My moon. And who says the moon is a perfect circle? I'll bet you the scientists would say, no, it's not a perfect circle. Where did you get that idea? From my paper punch? Well, it's wrong. I kind of like that. Let's do this one with no owl on it. And I'll have to give it more than one coat over here because this paint is pretty thin. This is Deco Art. Is this Deco Art? No, that's Apple Barrel. Apple Barrel is usually a thicker paint than this. I was doing a pick 10. I never got done with prompt 2. I had to measure out all my cards tonight. And then I'm going to draw 18 sets of two ladies. That moon's a little weird shape here. That's what happens when I try to paint a circle. It's not a perfect circle. But it doesn't have to be. This moon is not a bright yellow. All right, let's go back over this. And I just want to hold the owl up against it. I'm going to quit. Juju's going to come on. Does somebody want to put... Juju, are you a... Let's make Juju a mod so she can put in a link to her own channel. I trust you, Juju. I'm going to add you as a model. As a mod. You can be a model if you want to. As a standard moderator. Juju is now a standard moderator. So Juju, if you or if anybody else wants to put a link to Juju's channel in there. See, my owl can go right in here. Let's give it a quick dry. I'm glad I found that stamp. I do like that stamp. I think that's one of my better carvings. Let me get my heat gun out here. I have a lot to do tomorrow. I wanted to clean the bathroom, give it a thorough clean while my brother's gone. But I didn't mow today, so I got to mow. And I wanted to do something else. I forgot what it was. So I got a full plate tomorrow. So I need to not stay up late tonight. Let me plug this in. You can never see the plug-in because it's in the dark. Where's it at? There. And turn the plug around. Alright, hold on. I just want to get this dry enough that I can set my owl on it. And I'll have to, because I can still, yeah, this has got a short in it. I'll have to paint this, give it a couple layers, because, well, you can see the blue through it even in the, well, this is really acting up tonight. You can see the blue through this, but it almost makes it look dimensional, doesn't it? It's not a flat moon. But I'd like it a little bit brighter. I don't want it to be pink. Have you ever seen a pink moon? Well, sometimes the moons are blood red. A blood red moon. You call it a red moon, a blood red moon. The lighting in my room is really dark. I need a really bright light. I thought I was painting a light yellow on the background and it's a pink. I said it looks pink to me. Well, that's because it's pink. I think that's dry enough. I'm going to unplug this because it's got a short in it. I don't want to leave it plugged in. It's an old heat gun. I got a new one, but I'll keep using this one because it still heats. Hold on. Let me put it away here. See, I want my owl to go right in there. And let's put some things away here. Let's put my ink pad away. So now I want to clean some of this stuff up. I want to give this another coat. Clean up some of this stuff. I'm thinking I'll leave my owls white. Or I think I have some cream colored cardstock. A light tan cream color. I could stamp it on there with a smooth cardstock. Let's put my ink pad away. My rulers are out. They're in the place. I'm going to get ready to leave here, you guys, because I've got a busy day tomorrow. I need to get some rest. So I want to thank you all for coming. Let me zoom in a little. That looks so far away to me. Let me zoom in on that owl a little. We'll zoom in like that. And I'll take a picture of him, because the other side's not done yet. He's not done yet either. I'm going to put a tree limb across there. All right, let me refresh my chat and come say good night. Chat filter. All messages. Let me straighten this out a little. This way? Got the wrong way? Yeah. I never figure out which way to turn my paper. I always turn it the wrong way. Hold on, I'm letting my... There, I'll take a picture of this for my... Because that's about all I got done tonight. We picked out the prompts. Of course, they're buried. We picked out the prompts. I'll just keep working on the prompts out of this magazine until I get this done. So these are my prompts that I'm working on. I'm going to make tags. And I've got some pretty ribbon here. Boy, I saw that. I've had this for a long time. So let me grab it. I'm almost tempted to change this from a dark blue to black. Let me grab this ribbon. I've had this for a long, long time. I think this ribbon would look nice on a tag. Maybe as the, you know, like that up here. I don't know. I like it. This is all I have left of this ribbon. And I got, let me get it out here. Oh, I can't get it out. I clipped it to the, I got this. You can't see it. I got some ribbon from, some snippet ribbon from Lori and Jacqueline from their sale. You can maybe see a bit of that from Lori. They call it snippet ribbons, that you're working on a project, you can snip a piece off of it. And the other one was a tassel, but I kind of like this. It's kind of pretty. We might use that. That's all I have left of it. Put it back up there. So you guys, there's Goldie. Good night, Katia. Thanks so much for popping in. That owl could come up a little, and look, I smeared it there. It wasn't completely dry. I'll have to clean all this up. The moon's got an aura about it. I'll paint all this, clean it up. I'm just still kind of putting stuff together. I was going to use that as my, I was going to use it as my thumbnail. Now it's messy. Hold on. I'm not leaving it like that. Let's see if I can clean that mess up a little. It's probably what I did to my eraser that melted. Let's see if I can clean that a little here. Look, it cleans the blue off too. And that's been painted for several years. The blue. So I have a feeling that's what happened to my eraser. I probably, the cleaner, whatever I used to clean that eraser probably melted it. High polymer eraser. All right, that's a little better. It's not perfect. I got a streak in here. I gotta go wash my hands. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend. I will see you Sunday night at 6 p.m. I'll probably continue working on this. We'll just see. I like to pull things out of my stash that I find while I'm sorting and cleaning. So who knows when I'll get this done. But I'm going to keep it all together. I'll probably work on this, though. All right. Have a great weekend. Go do something fun. Bye, everybody.